$1,150 steak, I'm not joking. Dry-aged Wagyu A5 picanha. This thing better be worth it. Seasoned with salt only, nothing else. Don't overcook this. Take a look at this golden brown crust. Wow! Slice it in small strips. Medium rare, no cap. Wow. Cooking a steak in ketchup is something I never thought I would do. I mean, take a look at it. Is there any possibility that this high-quality steak is gonna turn out good? I'm very skeptical. So after the steak was fully covered with it, I baked it in the oven until 135 degrees Fahrenheit temperature was reached. Then it was time to remove the steak. And once I did, to my surprise, the steak came out pretty clean. You should only wish you're not smelling it. It's not very pleasant. But after cleaning up the steak, you can see that it needs a crust and it needs to be seasoned as well. So I went ahead and did it with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Took it outside on the grill and put a nice crust on it. But the question is this worth it? Well,
that's so good.
Wow, that hit me by surprise, everybody. This is something you do not see every day. When my meat dealer sent me this meat, I was like, what is this? Is it even edible? Well, let's find out. Because you see, in the beginning it didn't look like this. The way it looks raw is just insane. So I had to wash it really good, boil it several times, dry it really nice, and start to remove the silver skin, as this thing had quite a good amount. In the end, I had to reveal the tip, and this one had to go. Oh yes. Once it was fully clean, take a look. Then I went ahead and made a birria sauce for it. I mean, I was determined to make this thing taste really delicious. Because once it was fully cooked sous vide, this is what it looks like. Did you already guess what it is? Let me know in the comments. Because I went ahead and made some delicious tacos for my friends to try. And here's where everything went south.
That's it. I'm not coming back here anymore.
Me either.
Oh man, I just messed up.
Black pudding sandwich, also known as morcilla, and I'm using Tabasco habanero sauce to make it. First, let's make the sauce. Into a bowl, adding some parsley, followed by garlic, roasted bell peppers, dry oregano, salt, pepper, red wine vinegar, avocado oil, and lastly some Tabasco habanero sauce for a sweet fiery kick. Oh yes, Papa. I love it! Fiery, baby, let's go! And this is morcilla. It's made with blood, rice, and spices. To prepare them, we just gotta heat them up because they're fully cooked already. And now we build. First, toast the bread. If you want to light it up, add Tabasco habanero sauce directly to the bread, baby. Now add the chimichurri. Then add the morcilla. I mean, take a look at it, everybody. A little bit more sauce, why not? Now we close it. Wow, it's amazing, and the Tabasco sauce really adds some spicy flavor. This is I'm cooking a whole chicken in Coca-Cola. Yes, that's right. You see, this experiment is a little crazy, because if there's one thing that is delicious, is soy chicken. That's why you boil the whole chicken in soy sauce. Now that is incredible. And since both are the same color, I had this insane idea. But as you can clearly see, whenever you're boiling chicken, you get some weird stuff. These are the sugars and other ingredients that you can just see is not very appetizing. But hey, to my surprise, this is actually a popular thing. So I wanted to give it a try and see if it was good, bad, or ugly. Because in the end, I was left with some nice juicy chicken. I mean, take a look at this. There's nothing wrong with this, except for the skin. That is a little nasty. But the important thing is, how does a Coca-Cola chicken taste? Is it good? Well, let's see.
Listen, I've been trying to tell you guys that Coca-Cola is good for cooking. It's good for cooking. We're eating it, and we're saying it's okay.
It's not
Hello?
bad. Looking at a steak being confit in bone marrow, also known as butter of the gods. Now this was a crazy experiment, but in order to confit deep fry a steak on it, I had to have quite a bit. And once I cleaned them up in a salty solution, then I went ahead and roasted all of them, because I needed this liquid gold to come out. And I'm telling you, this is 100 times better than butter, especially if you like steaks. Talking about that, these are the beautiful steaks I used, because in order to do this, I did not season any of them. I went ahead and heated up my bone marrow. Once it reached 135 degrees Fahrenheit, I threw my steak in there, and I kept flipping it every 5 minutes, because once the internal temperature was reached, I took it out, seasoned it good with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and immediately took it out and put a nice crust. And in the end, I was left with this beautifully cooked steak ready to be enjoyed.
Oh my god. I'm shook right now.
This is Japanese Viagra. Yes! So let's open it up and see what we got. Now we wash. And here's the results. Now we taste. A little bit of soy sauce. Best food ever.
Good afternoon.
I was told that this is the reason I would never go back to Salt Bay's restaurant. You see, me and Nick DiGiovanni arrived in the restaurant all happy, and then we find out the price.
$1,200 for 2 people.
Me and Nick went ahead and ordered it. And I mean, it just tasted like a regular steak. So I went ahead and cooked my own. I seasoned mine with salt, freshly ground black pepper, and garlic powder. Then I went ahead and took it outside and cooked it on the grill. But that was missing one ingredient, gold. And guess how much this cost me? $8. And I was able to cover the whole steak with it. Now the big question is it better?
It makes 0% difference.
I'm with Angel on this, you know. I can't taste the difference.
Watching me season my steak with Kraft mac and cheese seasoning package. This is an insane experiment, but I was really curious to find out if it was going to be good or bad. But I did not only do one steak. I decided to make a compound butter as well. For that was just a little bit of room temperature butter, followed by the Kraft mac and cheese seasoning, blend it all up, put it in some clinch plastic, and there you have it. Kraft mac and cheese compound butter. I went ahead and seasoned some steak with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, but don't forget I also have the Kraft mac and cheese one as well. I cooked all of them sous vide, which ensures perfect doneness. Once they were fully cooked, I went ahead and took them outside and put a nice beautiful sear. In the end, I sliced it up and take a look. They actually look good, but looks can be deceiving. Well, let's find out. Oh, that's amazing! Oh, that's not even good. That's like delicious. Leo?
I love that steak right there. That is, wow.
Amazing.
Yep.
You ever had Argentinian style hot dog? It's called choripan. The first thing to do is to choose the rice sausage, chorizo, straight from Argentina. You first want to take them outside and grill them in indirect heat. This will allow them to cook all the way through. But if you like me, you nice that caramelization. So I like to go ahead and split the whole thing in half. Then cook it right over the fire. You don't want it to dry up, you just want a nice beautiful caramelization. Same thing goes with the bread. You want a nice soft bread, but you want to toast it up on the grill. Now for the sauce, it's a big deal. I like a red chimichurri. Into a food processor, I threw in some parsley, red bell peppers, garlic, lemon juice, smoked paprika, red wine vinegar, a little bit of salt followed by freshly ground black pepper, and blend everything well. Once you take it out, you have a nice beautiful paste. Then you just want to add in some good quality olive oil. Now combine this with that beautiful sandwich you just made because you are about to have an incredible experience.
A little bit of kick on it. Woo!
More chimichurri. Way more chimichurri.
Awesome, 10 out of 10.
Chef's kiss. Perfection. They were making barbecue steak sandwich. First, cook the bacon. Once it foams like this, that's how you know it's ready. Remove the bacon, but leave the fat. Add the onions and fry them up. Now we strain all the oil, onions back in, followed by the bacon, and a good amount of barbecue sauce. Tabasco Jalapeno Mesquite barbecue sauce. Now mix it under low heat. And there we have it. Now for the steak. First, season it with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and immediately take it out to the grill and put a nice beautiful sear. Now we smoke some cream cheese. Add your favorite barbecue rub, and into the smoker it goes at 250 degrees Fahrenheit until nice and smoky. And now we build. First the bread, then the lettuce, the smoked cream cheese, the steak, the bacon jam, and the bread. That was delicious. Earthy and tangy, a little bit spicy. This steak was actually a challenge that was presented to me by my subscribers. You see, everything started off with this Chick-fil-A sandwich. If you ever had it, you know it's good. I went ahead and sliced the whole thing in half. Then I threw it in the food processor, added some butter, and processed everything on high. Got some clinch plastic and rolled it up, let it solidify in my refrigerator. In the end, I was left with butter. Now, of course, I needed some steaks to go along with it. I added some salt, pepper, garlic powder, took it outside, and grilled it up. Added the compound butter right on top and let that thing melt. And in the end, the only thing left was to go ahead and slice it up and let my subscribers know how did it actually taste. God, that's delicious, everybody. That's all I gotta say. You're looking at is me dry aging a steak in Parmesan cheese. Not only does it taste fantastic, it has one specific ingredient. It's called monosodium glutamate, also known as MSG, king of flavor. After encoding the whole thing with it, I wrapped it in cheesecloth and into my dry ager it went for 45 days. Once the time is up, I took it out, removed the cheesecloth, and this is what it looks like. So I went ahead and removed all of the bad stuff, and I'll tell you one thing, it smells like stinky feet. But after cleaning the whole thing up, I seasoned it with salt and pepper and immediately took it out to the grill. And in the end, I actually had some good results. Take a look. But the most surprising element for me was how did it taste? It smells like but when you take a bite, it's so delicious.
I'm like dancing with these flavors right now.
This is the rarest chicken I've ever seen in my life. As you can see, it's kind of bluish. It is called Silky chicken. Now, I never had this, and I wanted to find out how will it compare with regular chicken. So I went ahead and separated everything in small pieces and cooked it up.
Now in the end, the flavor was just not what I expected.
It still reminds me of chicken.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of that chicken had a little problem, everybody. Something went wrong with it, you know?
You ever had the stingray steak? It's not something you see every day, and it can be 100% made by you, as everything starts off with what's called a tomahawk roast. First, you gotta clean up the bones real good. Then you wanna take out the middle steak. This one needs patience. Now use your knife, split the whole thing right in half, and open up both ribeyes. In the end, you have the stingray steak. To cook them is quite tricky. First, season them real good. Salt, pepper, garlic powder is good enough. Take them outside and start by cooking them in indirect heat. You gotta remember you're not gonna be able to flip it, so you gotta have heat on the bottom and top. I like to use my flamethrower. It makes quick work. And if you want to impress your guests, this is the one that they're gonna be talking about. Highly recommend giving it a try.
I got it. They were making barbecue ribs. Season it real good. Now into the smoker for 3 hours. This is after 3 hours, now we finish it. Now back to the smoker until nice and tender. It's ready, but it needs sauce. Tabasco Original, the classic. Oh, it's juicy, alright. A little spicy, a little sweet. That was amazing.
This is me attempting the world's first beer dry age experiment. Now I went a little crazy on this one, because not only did I use beer, but I also used beer hops. If you are unfamiliar with beer hops, this is what it looks like. You can't make good beer without hops. So my thought was, if he makes good beer, then he has to make a killer dry age steak. So after wrapping the roast with it, I let it dry age for 35 days. And once the time was up, I took it out and look. Now this is not appetizing. If you think it smells like beer, let's just say it's like stinky feet. But hey, here we are and we have to try this and see how it tastes. So after cutting out all of the bad stuff, I was left with a nice steak. I seasoned it real good and immediately took it to the grill. And I was actually left with some nice steaks in the end. Take a look. The only thing left was to taste it and see how it tastes.
Ooh. That's actually interesting.
Oh, I enjoy that.
Wow.
This was a $1,250 meal. The first course, they poured some chocolate on our hands and made us lick it. Then the second course came in and it was some macarons made with charcoal. Come on now. And my reaction was not what I expected. The next course, they call it the Tree of Life. It was a bread-like tortilla made with yuca. They served it with a creamy garlic cilantro sauce. The main course was a Brazino fish. They cooked it on a banana leaf on a shell of salt, broke it all up in small portions, and served us. Yeah, you only get this much. You get what you get and you don't get upset. Next dish, I thought it was a joke. It's called Lick Me. Yeah, lick me. So we did.
Look like you enjoyed it, Emilio.
Yeah,
That was good?
it's very good.
This is Mongolian meatballs. Let me show you how it's made. Here we go. Into a bowl, combine beef, grated onions, garlic, chives, eggs, breadcrumbs, salt and pepper, and mix it well. In the end, it should look like this. Now the sauce. Into a bowl, combine soy sauce, beef broth, hoisin sauce, brown sugar, and sesame oil. Everything will get combined and dissolved. Now into a frying pan, add a tiny bit of oil, garlic, shallots, ginger paste. Now mix everything together and cook it under low heat. As soon as it starts getting a little bit of color, throw in the sauce. Now mix everything together and the sauce is now ready. Now we're gonna make these balls extra special. Choose your favorite cheese, slice them in small cubes. You see? Now open up the beef, add the cheese, and make some balls. Now into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or your smoker. Take them out and add some sauce. Be generous with it. The more, the better. Wow. Sweet, salty, cheesy, spicy. Come on. That is what they serve you in heaven. Can we make old chicken nuggets better? Well, let's find out right now. Slice some jalapenos. Get some mozzarella strings. Now grab that old chicken nugget and cut a slit inside of it, just like that. Now stuff it. The more, the better. You see? Yes. First flour, then some egg wash, and finish with spicy takis. Just like this, and now we fry. Come on, look at it. That's a huge improvement. Stop it! That was delicious. This is crispy salmon. Oh man. Now add mayo, sriracha, Dijon mustard, soy sauce, and furikake. Now we mix. Spread out the rice on a tray. Don't make it too tall. Slice it in cubes, just like this. Now deep fry them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until golden brown. Only thing left is to build. One of the top bites I ever had. Here we are cooking a bucket of Wagyu. A big bucket. We start with 500 pounds of salt
And 1,000 of black pepper.
into a grill to cook it in direct heat. And now we wait.
Add wood. Now we slice.
You gotta thank Chain Brothers for sending over something.
Party don't stop. We got more.
That's right, baby. This is the perfect filet mignon. I start with a filet mignon frozen from my freezer. You see, frozen solid. The fastest way to defrost it is to put it in water. Never wash your meat. You always want to pet it dry. It's the right way to do it. Season it however you want. I just choose salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Now, it's important that you don't season the actual steak. You want to season the board so that you can roll the seasoning around it. Now it's ready to be seared. Don't let the butter burn. But you also want the butter to foam. Now into the oven until it reaches an internal temperature of 125 degrees Fahrenheit. The poking thing, like Gordon Ramsay tells you, does not work. The only true reliable way is to use a thermometer. As in the end, you are left with this. Perfect medium rare. If that's not perfect, I don't know what is. It turned out delicious. Season my meat with ramen seasoning? Okay. So this is the magic you want me to use? Not bad. I'm gonna go real heavy with the seasoning. Pretty juicy. Cheers. Not bad. Not bad. This turned out money. This is bacon wrapped Oreos. I love Oreos. Season them with your favorite rub. Into the smoker at 250 for 35 minutes. Now add sauce. There's no way this is gonna be good. I was wrong, very wrong. This is something you do not see every day. Smells like feet. Sometimes you want to eat something weird and...
Familiar with the Impossible Wagyu? This is the real deal. That's because it's a very rare cut. But when you have a meat dealer, he hooks you up. So I decided to go ahead and make Korean barbecue with it. And the first thing was to do a marinade. The recipe will be down below for you, because once it was done, I let it marinate for 24 hours. Then I took it outside, removed the marinade, and grilled it to perfection. Now it's tricky to grill something like this. Not only is it extremely fatty, it's also very thin. So you gotta keep moving it non-stop. But the results, oh man. Talk about the one perfect bite. If there is such a thing, this is it.
Oh, Emilio, I love you.
Emilio, I love you very much, my brother. That's all I can say about that. Double cheeseburger. Always toast the buns. Get that pan nice and hot and add the patty. Season it with salt and black pepper. When you see juices flowing, it's time to flip. Now add thyme, butter, and garlic and baste like your life depends on it. The more, the better. Now add American cheese and cover it to melt the cheese. Sauce your buns with homemade sauce. Now we build. Add one patty, followed by another, and crown that beautiful burger. Take a look at that. One pan classic cheesy gooey bacon jalapeno bites. Slice open the jalapeno and remove the seeds by using a fork. Make sure you get it all out. You see? Nice and clean. Fry up some bacon. Cook it under low heat to get it nice and crispy and render that fat. Into a food processor, combine cream cheese, bacon, cheddar cheese, and garlic powder. Now blend everything together. Fill the jalapeno using a Ziploc bag. Now slice them. They look like little green quarters. Now deep fry in 350 degrees Fahrenheit until golden brown. Just like this. Cheers. Damn. I never thought I would love so much this.
Made the world's first death brisket, and this is how it turned out. I used this special ingredient. It's called sriracha and it's quite spicy, but it tastes nice. And for experiment, of course, I used a Wagyu brisket. The first thing to do was to cover the whole thing with the sriracha sauce. I made sure to get every single edge of it. Then I dry aged it for 35 days. Once I took it out, it looked like death. I mean, take a look at this thing. We got mold everywhere, and it smelled terrible, but I went ahead and took out all of the outer crust. And in the end, it looked even worse. But hey, that's the whole experiment. So I went ahead and cooked it on my smoker. Once it was fully done cooking, I sliced it up and look, this thing is juicy. I'm talking about a waterfall of juice. Right at this time, I said this thing is gonna come out money. So we went ahead and tried it.
That's delicious.
That's delicious, just like he said.
I don't know what this experiment is, but that's a god good brisket.
This is the most dangerous steak in the world. That's because it paralyzes your mouth. Don't believe me? Just listen.
It's like I can't feel it. Should I be worried, Guga? Hello?
And all because of this special ingredient. It's called Sichuan peppercorn, and I did something crazy with it. I made a compound butter. But not only did I do that, I went ahead and cooked some beautiful steaks and added a ridiculous amount of it onto the steak. And in the end, we had some very interesting results.
That is amazing, everybody.
I think I enjoy it too.